Hispanic Chamber of Commerce is the leading advocate for Hispanic business in our region. In Houston, we represent over $54 billion per year in consumer spending. Our thanks to our volunteers, sponsors, board of directors, and staff as we work to advocate for business and for a stronger economy. Learn more by visiting the Houston Hispanic Chamber of Commerce website, HoustonHispanicChamber.com. Hello, I'm Dr. Laura Murillo, President and CEO of the Houston Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. Today we have a very special guest representing Centerpoint. He is the EVP Regulatory Government Affairs, Jason Ryan. Jason, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you, Doctor. It's good to be with you and good to talk to everybody today.
Well, we know the vital role that you all play in our region. You've got a lot of things that you're taking care of, everything from your resiliency plan to replacing poles, trimming trees, preparing us always in advance for anything that comes our way. So let's get started first with your systems resiliency plan.
Sure. Yeah, we're proud to have filed for approval by the state a resilience plan post Hurricane Beryl. We heard after the hurricane a call to action from our customers in our community, and the resilience plan is in direct response to that. It is a first of its kind plan to make the Houston area grid the most resilient coastal grid in the country. And we're excited about getting approval of that plan in the coming months and starting to implement it.
Excellent. And what do residents need to know, and how is this going to directly impact them?
Yeah, and so while the resilience plan is a long-term plan, we've already started the work that's going to be part of that longer-term plan. And so our customers and folks out in the community have probably already seen us replacing poles, trimming trees. So you're going to see us out and about doing that very obvious work to enhance resilience for the next number of years as we do that throughout the greater Houston region. There's other work that we're doing that's not as visible, like segmenting the distribution system to reduce the number of outages, say when a car hits a pole, or when a tree falls on a power line, or when a storm comes in. So that's not going to be as visible, but that work is just as important.
Okay, speaking of trees, Houston, we're fortunate we have them all over the place. Unfortunately, we also have a lot of trees that are dying. Once again, what can you say to residents about trees that are dying? And then second part of that question is, how do we know what's their responsibility and what's Centerpoint's responsibility?
That's right. Yeah. Unfortunately, with the severe cold that we had a couple of years ago, the severe drought that we had, including last year, and severe rainfall that occurs in our region from time to time, it's been a real strain on trees. So trees that might look healthy might actually be dying, and large branches might be falling in your yard. If your tree is dead, it's probably pretty obvious. There's no leaves on it at this time of year when all of our healthy trees ought to have leaves. So whatever bucket that your tree falls into, whether it looks healthy and you're concerned or it looks dead and you're concerned, you can always feel free to give us a call if the trees are near power lines. And we're happy to send a forester out to take a look at it and trim that tree if it has the risk of falling into one of our power lines. If it's a tree that's further away from the power line, in front of your house, for example, if you have a power line in the back of your house, that is your responsibility as the homeowner. And I would encourage folks to not just think about the risk of trees damaging power lines, although it's incredibly important we address those risks. But trees fall on cars, trees can fall on houses, they can fall on people, and they can also fall on our power lines. So no matter where your problematic trees are on your property, we encourage you to take care of that. Again, if it's a threat to the power line, give us a call at 713-207-2222, and we are happy to send a forester out to take a look.
What else would you like the audience to hear?
Yeah, so as it relates to the poles that we're putting in, that is incredibly visible work. You can see it. I have a sample of one right here. So if you've seen these poles going up in your neighborhood, they are made out of a incredibly strong composite material. that will withstand greater wind speed than a normal wooden pole. And unlike a normal wooden pole that might rot over a long period of time, this composite material will be here for many, many decades. And so those poles being replaced right now are part of how we will become the most resilient coastal grid in the country by having these poles that will withstand much greater wind speed than a tree or a pole made out of a tree could withstand.
Jason, our thanks to you and the team as you're preparing us for everyday weather, and then, of course, the unexpected elements that head our way. Our thanks to you and the Centerpoint team. The Houston Hispanic Chamber of Commerce is the leading advocate for Hispanic business in our region. In Houston, we represent over $54 billion per year in consumer spending. Our thanks to our volunteers, sponsors, board of directors, and staff as we work to advocate for business and for a stronger economy. Learn more by visiting the Houston Hispanic Chamber of Commerce website, houstonhispanicchamber.com.
Some of medicine's greatest advancements look like they're out of the latest sci-fi. Others were developed spending countless hours in a lab, or push the limits of what technology can do. And yet, one of our most powerful tools is something far more simple, more human. It's a calling to connect with purpose and to care more deeply. That's how we're evolving healthcare, by treating people, not just patients, with innovations that amplify healing, with technology that empowers more personalized care, and with research that leads to breakthrough treatments. Guided by the belief we all hold the power to heal.
Hello, I'm Dr. Laura Murillo, President and CEO of the Houston Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. Our partners over at Toyota Center are going to talk to us a little bit about all of the great things they're doing, the important economic impact that it has on our great region, and also the partnership between Toyota Center and your Houston Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. Joining us today is none other than Doug Hall. He's got a long title, so it's General Manager, Toyota Center, Senior VP, Clutch City Sports and Entertainment. Doug, thanks for joining us.
Always, anytime. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So, a lot of things going on at Toyota Center. And some people don't realize that not only is it the home of our very own Houston Rockets, but that throughout the year, that space is converted and used for a variety of things, including a really big concert. So, let's start with that exciting announcement.
Really big concert next week. Shakira coming back to Toyota Center after a long time away for 2 nights, Sunday and Monday, and we're excited to have her back in the building. The fan reaction has been fantastic, and as I've told you before, our Latino music just continues to grow in numbers, and we've had the best 2 years ever in Toyota Center history for concerts in 24 and 25, and next week will be a great part of that.
Absolutely. And you're out there watching, and you'll have time to make sure that you are available for Father's Day to hear Shakira, or the following Monday. Tickets can be purchased there at Toyota Center. Go online and let's support this great, great international global star. It's going to be right here in Houston, Texas. It's always a great experience. And I was recently at Alejandro Fernandez, who you all brought to Houston, and it was exciting to see so many people who were there, and just the variety of different performers that you've brought to Toyota Center, Doug, is really impressive. And it doesn't matter if it's on a Monday, a Sunday, or Saturday. People are showing up, and that's what we want. We want to make sure we support everything that you all are bringing here to our great city. Now, YouTubers, I've not heard of these folks, so educate me, please. They're coming to Toyota Center.
The Dude Perfect show coming in July is just unique. It's one of the truly great kind of entertainment experiences you don't really see anywhere else. Dude Perfect made their fame on YouTube and doing trick shots like basketball and hockey and golf and things you've just never seen and can't believe are real until you see it in person. And I think this is their third time back at Toyota Center. We're going to be sold out in July, and it is a really unique entertainment experience for young and old, from ages 8 to 80 will enjoy Dude Perfect.
So is it a group of people? Is it two people?
It's a group of people, five young men, or started young. They're from Texas. As a matter of fact, they're based out of Dallas. A lot of them are Aggies. And so they alternate, do group things and they do individual things. And again, if you haven't had a chance to see them, you can check them out on YouTube, but more importantly, come see them live at Toyota Center in July.
Well, that sounds very interesting. I'm going to absolutely do that and see what they're all about. Again, that is Dude Perfect. They're coming into town, so July 10th. And everybody loves this one, right? Who has not experienced the Hot Wheels Monster Truck Live Glow and Fire in July? Tell folks about this.
This will be the first time they've been at Toyota Center. Monster trucks come to town in various places, NRG Stadium, but this is unique. This is an arena-based event, and it'll be the first time, and super excited. Again, more of a family entertainment, not so much a late-night concert, but, ages 3 all the way up. So really family-focused, and kids will have a chance to, see some great entertainment. And, the early parties include walks through the floor and to see monster trucks live and in person. And we're excited to bring them here. And we plan on making it an annual event starting this summer.
And what does that conversion look like for Toyota Center?
Well, this one's not on dirt. A lot of the monster trucks and motocross bikes are on dirt. This is on concrete, so it's not a hard conversion for us. But we'll do anything. PBR has been on dirt. A lot of the other dirt events are fun to do, but this one is a little cleaner and easier to maintain. But it'll be exciting.
Sounds like it. And on behalf of the Houston Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, our board, our staff, our members, sponsors, and others, we want to say thank you, Doug, to you and the entire team over at Toyota Center. You all have been such phenomenal partners, and we want to make sure that all of your events are to capacity. So everyone watching us here on KHOU CBS 11 or on one of the 6 audio stations that are with Odyssey Radio, we want you to tune in and make sure that you go out, visit their website so you can buy tickets, so you can get involved. They've got corporate opportunities, ticket sales, all types of things. And so, Doug, to you and your team, we say thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Murillo. Get your tickets at access.com or toyotacenter.com. Come see us.
The Houston Hispanic Chamber of Commerce is the leading advocate for Hispanic business in our region. In Houston, we represent over $54 billion per year in consumer spending. Our thanks to our volunteers, sponsors, board of directors, and staff as we work to advocate for business and for a stronger economy. Learn more by visiting the Houston Hispanic Chamber of Commerce website, HoustonHispanicChamber.com.
Some of medicine's greatest advancements look like they're out of the latest sci-fi. Others were developed spending countless hours in a lab, or push the limits of what technology can do. And yet, one of our most powerful tools is something far more simple, more human. It's a calling to connect with purpose and to care more deeply. That's how we're evolving healthcare. By treating people, not just patients, with innovations that amplify healing, with technology that empowers more personalized care, and with research that leads to breakthrough treatments. Guided by the belief we all hold the power to heal.
I'm Dr. Laura Murillo, President and CEO of the Houston Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. We are so excited to have this phenomenal entrepreneur, philanthropist, and leader on our program. Her name is Doreen Dominguez. Her company is Veneer. They are members, and we're excited to have her here. Doreen, thank you so very much.
Dr. Murillo, thank you for having me. I'm so excited about my participation with the Chamber and with your leadership, of course.
We appreciate that. And I know that your company is celebrating a huge milestone with you at the helm. Tell us about that.
Yes, so 60 years, indeed, a milestone, especially when you think about 36% of businesses don't make it to their 10th anniversary. So my father started out of a duplex in 1964. I think many of your members can identify with humble beginnings as they started their own businesses, in particular Latino businesses and entrepreneurs. And we start at a need to take care of our families. And so that's what makes us so great in terms of our entrepreneurship, our dedication of hard work, and how we excel in helping others.
Yes, and you all have done that. I know you have a great interest in this city in particular. And as a woman, as an entrepreneur in a space that is male dominated. And so you have successfully navigated those waters. And I know you have a lot of advice for entrepreneurs. Give us one nugget of that advice.
I think that you should always lead with your passion. In other words, if you follow your passion and you know what you want to do in terms of changing that community or providing a craft of quality and excellence, you don't have to work a day of your life because you're doing what you want to do.
Well, thank you for that. Now, speaking of, part of your legacy, I believe, is making sure that you've been philanthropic. Tell us some of the ways that you personally and your company have done that.
One of the core values is giving back, and for my father's legacy, I started a 501(c) called the Dominguez Dream. We focus on STEAM and literacy, science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. In addition, we provide, and this is to help underserved students in the 3rd, 4th, 5th graders to excel and be exposed to engineering, art, math, science, and it's been a great and successful program. In addition to that, we also provide internships for underserved students in the high school level as well as college level. And this is important because many times companies say, we can't find them. There's no qualified candidates. Well, as leaders, we have a responsibility to grow our own and to identify those diamonds in the rough and those talents.
And you've done so. And of course, for entrepreneurs, especially in your business, the connection, the opportunity to do business with some of these large corporations is challenging, but you've been successful at it. Tell us a little bit about some of the major corporations that Veneer is partnering with.
Well, first and foremost, I'd like to tell you, Dr. Murillo, is that 95% of our work is prime work. So we don't really partner with many of the larger firms. We actually have them as our sub or in some joint venture partnerships. But primarily, 95% of our work, we're leading the charge, and we have sub-consultants, and we're very committed to diversity in terms of our sub-consultants.
So what advice do you have to people who are trying to be sub-consultants? What are some of the things that you have found in all your experience that would be helpful for someone who wants to be a sub?
Yes, well, I would certainly say, go to the exchange programs. I know the Chamber has a lot of meet and greets, subs meeting the primes. I think also to identify what your craft is and make sure you're the best at it. So that when that prime is looking at identifying a sub to fill that position, that you have the qualifications to fulfill that niche and be uniquely positioned to do that. I wouldn't just rely on your minority women, minority business enterprise certification, even though that is so important, but also your craft is just equally as important as that designation.
Yes, it is. And one other question, and certainly very impressive, has been your role as a minority owner of a franchise. Tell us about that sporting industry and what that has meant to you personally.
Certainly. So I'm the first Latina to own a basketball team. I'm a governor of the NBA Sacramento Kings, and I'm very proud to hold that title. But, it's important to me that I'm not the only one, that there are others that minority Latinos and Latinas be owners in the NFL and the NBA. Very important that we diversify that, because guess what? Guess who's buying the tickets? It's our community. And if we're buying the tickets and if we're that market, we need to be at the top of the helm as well.
Yes, well, Doreen, you have led the way in so many areas, and you have been blessed and have done great things through your philanthropic efforts and hiring so many employees and helping our economy. We are so proud of you here in Houston at this chamber, and we are at your service. All the best, Doreen.
Thank you so much.
The Houston Hispanic Chamber of Commerce is the leading advocate for Hispanic business in our region. In Houston, we represent over $54 billion per year in consumer spending. Our thanks to our volunteers, sponsors, board of directors, and staff as we work to advocate for business and for a stronger economy. Learn more by visiting the Houston Hispanic Chamber of Commerce website, HoustonHispanicChamber.com.
Some of medicine's greatest advancements look like they're out of the latest sci-fi. Others were developed spending countless hours in a lab, or push the limits of what technology can do. And yet, one of our most powerful tools is something far more simple, more human. It's a calling to connect with purpose and to care more deeply. That's how we're evolving healthcare. By treating people, not just patients, with innovations that amplify healing, with technology that empowers more personalized care, and with research that leads to breakthrough treatments. Guided by the belief we all hold the power to heal.
Hello, I'm Dr. Laura Murillo, President and CEO of the Houston Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. We're happy to be here on television with the first Latina to serve as the chair of Metro. As you know, Metro is so important to this city, and it's going to make sure that we can get to and from all parts of the region. With her leadership and that of the board of directors and others, we are happy to tell you that Metro's on the move. We're going to talk about Metro now. We're going to talk about Metro next. Thank you, Elizabeth. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Laura. This is a great opportunity to talk about what's happening at Metro. So I really appreciate you taking the time to invite me.
Absolutely. So it's a hot topic. I think you would agree. And transportation is so important, with so many people wanting improved transit, so many sporting events and other activities coming to this great city of ours. And so among them is this growing demographic that is the Hispanic demographic, with more than 45% of the population being Hispanic. And if you would kindly tell us, what are some plans there to specifically address some of those needs?
Well, first of all, I'd like to say that I would like to work with the Chamber on finding opportunities to have outreach to the Hispanic community, because you're right, we have so many diverse opportunities from employment to ridership to events that are taking place that Hispanics can participate in. So I think that for us, it's really, really important that we reach that audience to talk about what kind of opportunities we have, whether it's through education, employment, internships, ridership, and making sure that we are connecting with the community.
Absolutely. We're happy to help with that in a variety of ways, including focus groups and surveys and others. And so we'll get back to that conversation. I want to turn our attention now to what is BRT, as people in the know call it. But for those who may not be familiar, it's the Bus Rapid Transit Lines. And here's what jumped off the page for me. It's a $3 billion with a B, $3 billion project. And this would go to the taxpayers. Explain that to us and tell us the pros and cons of it, if you will.
Well, we're currently taking a look at the BRT project. As you know, it was authorized and by the voters before COVID. A lot has changed since COVID, including the cost of projects like this. So we see that the cost is going up and up. And we also need to be looking at whether this project or other projects make more sense since times have changed. And also we need to be thinking about how we incorporate technology. Technology, I think, will give us a lot of opportunity to look at things that we haven't considered in the past, like, for example, rideshare or microtransit, and really decide what's going to work best for us now and into the future.
So it's good to hear that there are some thoughts to just look at everything, put it on the table, and decide whether or not it makes sense today and the financial impact that it will have, because these are not small projects, and there are, for businesses especially, in some cases, in many cases, there can be some disruptions there. And so getting that feedback and being customer centric is important. Talk to us about that focus.
So for me, the number one thing that I want to tie everything we do to is our customer. And we want to make sure that that everything we do ties to ridership. How are we increasing ridership? How do we become the metro that people choose to use versus are dependent on using? And so that's how we're going to increase ridership, by focusing on what's important to our customers. Our customers want to be safe. They want a service that is reliable. They want a service that is clean, and they want a service that's friendly and user friendly. So we have to be easy to use. Our routes have to be easy to use. It has to be accessible. We have to meet the customer where they are. So rideshare offers a great opportunity for us to say, we're gonna pick you up from your curb and take you to where you need to be within a certain parameter. So we're looking at how we can do that in a way that makes sense. And we're seeing that other transit authorities are using microtransit as the way of the future. So we really want to be mindful of that as we start to think about what are the things that we're going to implement into the future.
Well, it's a big task. I know you're up to it, and the team at Metro is too, and our Mayor Whitmire has made an excellent choice in selecting you to lead this charge. Please know the Houston Hispanic Chamber of Commerce and many others in the city want you and Metro to succeed. And I'm so happy to hear some of the key phrases that you've used, which include putting the customer first and being customer centric, because we want Metro to be something that's, as you mentioned, something of choice. So good luck on all of that, and keep making us proud. We'll see you soon.
Thank you. Appreciate you.